Curtis A reached out to me, said make a theme song for my show. Said alright, just give me all the details, man. And my homie says he don't know. Well, if you're gonna pay me big bucks, cause I might should have something to say. He said, you know what I bring, I'm the customizing king, nothing else matters anyway. So is he gonna have guests? I don't know. Is he gonna go live? I don't know. What time will it be? What will you see? I'm pretty much in the dark, but I can guarantee you'll be customizing action figures, getting paint all on his fingers. It's art by Akerman. It's art by Akerman. Tips and tricks and conversation, sharing his gift with every nation. It's art by Akerman. Art by Akerman. You best get ready, cause now it's time for Art by Akerman.
All right, welcome back to another How They Do That. This is a series where I talk to folks in the community about their art. It could be certain custom that they've done, a certain style, paint job, photography, dios, whatever. We've had a lot of different things on the channel. But today's a little unique because today you're getting a first look at something. This is a new one for the channel. This is something that is being revealed here on How They Do That. It's something I'm really excited about because it's a property that's near and dear to my heart. And it's from a customizer that's pretty amazing. Does some really great things with trolls. I would even call him the Troll King. So here we go. Joining me is Perry Murrell Jr. Perry, how you doing, sir?
Good day, sir. How are you?
I am excellent. I've been so stoked to talk about this. It's been a while, kind of few weeks putting this together and all this and that, but I am so excited to talk about this today.
Man, I am excited for this too. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. So you reached out to me a while back. We've done a few trades and stuff because first off, just getting started, like you're very active in the community with trading and help. Like if somebody needs a part, like you're willing to help them out. If you need something, you put it out there, and there's, it's kind of what this community is about, right? Like helping folks out as we're trying to customize and stuff.
Yeah.
I know when I was working on my my Oliphant from Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
I was reaching out and asking if somebody had extra troll legs, which is just a weird request, right? Because not too many people customize trolls anyway. But then to only want the legs was kind of a weird request. But you came through, and I appreciated it. But yeah, you do a lot of that, right?
Oh yeah. Man, I've been in the cabal since the very beginning. It's like a family. And everybody's always so acceptable to help each other and stuff. So I just put out the bat call, and some people answer, some people don't. If you have it,
Yeah.
I always make an effort to, if I have it laying around, it's yours. So
that's awesome. I love that, because I think sometimes as customizers, I don't know about you, but like I've built up this inventory of parts that is just kind of in my collection, to where it's like, if I need something, a lot of times I'll just break open a new figure and take it. But
right.
if somebody already has it and they're not using it, it's really nice to be able to kind of like, hey, you need this, I need that. Let's make a swap. I know they do the part swap at Legion's Con, which is kind of like that, but it's just a really cool, thing that we got in our community.
Oh, I didn't know they had a part swap at Legion's Con. I'm stuck at my table every year, so I don't get
It is, I think it's Saturday night. I think it's Saturday night that they do the part swap down in the lobby. So right outside of the main hall.
Oh, okay.
And I think Chris James normally kind of heads it up, and then Bill from Dorklair is there, and he helps people with, while they're picking up parts and stuff, doing some popping and swapping. So it's kind of a cool little event.
Nice.
I think it's Saturday evening in the lobby. So. Okay.
I'll be sure to be there this year. So
there you go. Yeah. I mean, I know some people bring just bins and bins and bins of parts and swap out for what they're looking for. So
it's smart, because I customize probably over 80 to 90 trolls, and I have parts.
That's crazy.
I have so many heads and so many different parts and hands and feet.
Yeah.
everything, and I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do with this stuff? So
that's crazy because a lot of people stay away from trolls altogether, right? Because
yeah,
I mean, first of all, they're big, so it's a lot of surface area to cover if you're doing a full repaint. But then there's also not a lot of variety in terms of parts, so there's not a lot to swap it with. So the fact that you've done that many is pretty crazy.
yeah. Well, once 3D printing started, and the the you can do so much with a 3D part,
Yeah.
And trolls are they're big, but they're really simple how they put them together. You got the main part, you got the arms, legs, and the loincloth part.
Yeah.
That just all comes apart. So I mean, it's really basic how it is, but man, I just love the big guys. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", so
Yeah.
I just always loved the big toys. So
They are cool to
big
hold
on
in hand. Like I remember when I was a kid, like one of the things that attracted me to the Masters of the Universe line when I was a kid was everything was small at that time. Everything was 3 3/4, right? So you got like Masters of the Universe, and they just felt so chunky in your hand, right? Like your little kid hand holding one of those, and that's kind of what like this is. Like holding a troll as an adult is kind of like holding one of those Masters of the Universe when you're a kid, right? It's just like this big thing in your hand. And you're like, man, I just love this. So
yeah, I love how Walter drags Jasmine, or his troll around on the airport and stuff, and I do the same thing, and it's an eye catcher. People are like, what is that? And I introduce them to the line of Mythic Legion. So
yeah, one of my favorite. I've got him actually upstairs in my studio room because I can't be that far away from him. Is my office troll, where it's got like the Strups did a dress shirt and tie for it.
Yes.
And he's got glasses and everything. Love that. All right. Well, we are talking about a custom today, which, surprise to nobody, does involve a troll. So before I do pull up the slideshow, anything that you want to mention about what we're going to be looking at today?
So basically I wanted to, my dad got me into sci-fi a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the favorite movies that me and him would watch was Clash of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
And with my trolls, I love remaking stuff. I did a Ludo. I did a Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
I've done many things where I just try to recreate my childhood and stuff. And this particular troll is one of my favorite monsters of all time. So,
all right, well, let's pull up the slideshow and see what we got. So today we are talking about the Kraken. That's right, folks. The Kraken from Clash of the Titans. This thing just looks amazing. So, tell us first about like why you had the idea to build a Kraken out of a troll. Like, how did that come together? And then obviously I'm sure there's a lot of different things, including, 3D printed parts, customizing things where you slice and dice this. Yeah. Tell us about how this kind of worked.
So I wanted to do like a sea monster. I wanted to do something different that I haven't done with a troll before.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I was at Legion's Cons 24, and Paul Sutt had this Kraken head, and I was like, oh, dude, I need this head. He was like, oh,
so the head came first.
The head came first.
Gotcha.
Like,
okay.
I need this head. I said, that's one of my favorite figures. And he was like, okay. So I got the head from Paul, and then I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? So I reached out to my boy Rodriguez, Jason Rodriguez.
Yep.
And I said, hey, I need you to commission me a Kraken body.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what are you talking about? So I had to go.
Yeah.
I had to go get a bunch of images, and I sent them to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did. I sent them to him. I said, okay, I want it like this. I drew a picture. My drawing sucks, but I drew basically what I needed. And maybe a week later, he came back to me and he presented parts of what he did. And it was awesome. The only thing he didn't have was the fin on the back.
Okay.
But everything else was to scale. It was beautiful. He had the movements of the tail. It was everything I wanted. So
that's awesome. So tell us about, like, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so this is what, whenever I do a project, I always get references. I'm good at having something, a visual to see. So one is just a sea monster, and I love the colors. So I loved how they had the it was like a yellowish chest with the going into the red, and then you had the like dolphin like colors on the back and stuff. So I just wanted to like take some of those colors, and that's how I was going to paint my thing. And then on the other side where you have a Kraken, this is from Harryhausen. Hope I'm saying that.
Ray Harryhausen.
Ray Harryhausen. Yes, sorry about that. And this is one of his clay models that he had just in production.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, because all those old movies use that like stop motion animation with the clay figures and stuff, and it gave him this like really kind of jagged movement that was really super creepy for, you know, whether it was skeletons or monsters or whatever. But yeah, this was something. It was a monster that I never thought that I would see in toy form. So you know, the fact that you've made this is just pretty impressive, because I myself, you know, like you said, you watch this with your dad. I used to watch this with my mom all the time. My mom loved you know, sword and sorcery movies, so we watched a lot of Conan and Red Sonja and Clash of Titans. Clash of Titans was my absolute favorite. Like, we watched that all the time. And when this thing came out, I was like, it's so creepy and huge. Like, how is he going to defeat this thing? And, you know, just, was not a good situation. So,
yeah, last year at Legion's Con, I made a Calibus and I made a Medusa.
So cool.
That I was like, oh, okay. The next thing for me to do is definitely the Kraken. So,
now, do you still have both of those in your collection, or did you sell those?
They sold pretty quickly. So, and I don't make more than one. When I make something, it's one and done for me. You know,
gotcha. So one of those folks that bought those, they definitely need to try to buy this thing too.
yes. Now I will be able to make, you know, take a pre-order and make something for someone if they want.
Oh, okay.
But
very cool.
The project was kind of costly for me. Just alone for the print of the body of the fish body it cost me $90, and then it cost another $100 just to print it out with all the resin. It takes 2 days to print.
Wow.
So yeah, it was
well, yeah, and awesome. I'm guessing that head, you know, what was Paul charging for the head?
Paul gave this to me for free.
Oh, that's awesome. What a sweet dude.
He's so awesome. He was like, yeah, man, I want to see this made. So, you know,
I saw he just won an award for his movie for special effects. That's so cool.
Hunt, chase, kill.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes.
Those such, they're good people. So
yes. And like I said, it's a community. So everybody, there's so many different parts. Like, you helped me out with the arms. Like, I didn't have that idea until you sent me the arms, and I'm like, oh, I can take half this arm and use it for, you know, the lower arms and stuff like that.
That's cool. So this was the initial, like, you got the head, you popped it on here, like, okay, like, and then your brain started going, right? Like, what can I do with this? Because clearly you didn't want it to just be a troll with that head. You wanted to do more, right?
I wanted to do more. I had to do more. It was like, oh, this looks cool, but yeah, this is not the Kraken that I grew up watching and stuff like that.
It is an amazing head, though. I mean, even just like this, like if this were just painted to match a Stone Troll body, it would look like a really cool figure.
Right.
But yeah, so let's keep going. So this is the body that you're talking about that you had constructed from Jason Rodriguez, correct?
Correct.
And over to the left, I'm guessing we've got the render, kind of his initial, like what it would look like. And then here we've got the pieces, which I noticed there's like some like clips in terms of how it attaches.
Okay,
is that
so
something that you guys discussed as that was coming together?
no, that was done. That was engineered by Shane Mann.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who printed this for me, and he did it so that they fit together and that they hold. See how the spikes go into the slots and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I glued 2 parts of it to make it just come off in 2 different big parts instead of having like 5 parts all together and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense because you wouldn't want to print this all in one. A, it would take a huge printer, and B, it would just be ridiculous size. So yeah, breaking it up like his makes a lot of sense. I love these little connectors that he did, to get that to come together. And then, I noticed in the later pictures, as you put it together, you don't really see the seams. Like it looks like it fills in really nicely. So
it's seamless with the scales and the paint. Yeah. It turned out better than I could imagine.
So this is kind of as it's coming together and what that looks like. It's now the picture on the right, is that where you've already glued it, or are you just kind of holding it together at this point?
Right now I'm holding it together to see what it looks like, to see if there's any seams, to see if there was anything we needed to go back and check and correct.
And it looks like that the top, I guess we'll call it the pelvis, the opening that's going to go into the troll. It looks like that's made to where when you heat up that troll, it'll just kind of pop over that. Is that correct?
It's perfect fit. It just all you do is heat up the round and you put it on, and it's on there really good.
That's awesome. So then you still probably have some upper torso articulation then, right?
I have arms, I have head, there's still, you can move it from side to side if you want it to.
That's cool.
Yeah, it has most of the articulation that you would have with a regular troll. So
yeah, this is just beautiful. I mean, the sculpt work on this, I know we've when Eric was doing Beathir, and then we've seen with Bodvar the bear, like all those little, like the fur and scales and things like that, like those little details take a long time, and seeing all that on here, it looks just so good. Like, to me, I look at this and I go, man, I want to put a brush to this, right? Like, this just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to paint.
When I started painting it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I mean, all those details just popped out.
Yeah.
And then I did a pearl gloss on top of the paint afterwards, just to give it that sheen, that wet look and shine. Awesome. Man, I was blown away. I blew myself away. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I want to buy this. No.
Well, we'll take a look at that paint job here in a minute. But first, so now working on the arm. So yes, I did send you those little arms, right? Because what I did was I cut off the bracers of a troll to use those, almost like, I don't know, like things to hold the carriage for my Oliphant. So I was not using them as bracers, but I was like, man, that's just a cool shape that I like, and I wanted to use it. And I thought, these arms are never going to get used, right? Because they don't even have the bracers on it. You can't attach anything.
Right.
Like, they're just sitting in my bin, but they're never going to get used. And then you had reached out and asked if I had any extra arms. And I'm like, well, I got these, but they don't have the bracers. I don't think they're going to be any benefit. And you're like, I'll take them. I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're going to do with them, but have at it. And then this, right? So yeah, tell us a little bit about how this came together.
So with how the arms attach on the troll is, they use glue. So that's why I don't really like to take them off. I can bend them and get paint all in there so that you really don't need to. But since that's how they came to me from you, I was able to, make holes in the troll just as they have for the big arms and stuff.
Yep.
I did have to glue those in, and I used the foam glue, which expands and it really gets in the cracks and it holds everything together.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, you can't see it because it's inside the troll. But I used it's actually a foaming Gorilla Glue,
Oh,
and
okay.
I love it because it expands into all the cracks and it really gives a hard bond. So when something I want permanent, that's what I use glue. I have
I'll have to check that out. Is that in like an aerosol can or something, or how is that? What does that look like?
It is in a regular bottle, and it's brown. It's like the brown colored glue. They have a fast action, like crazy glue kind.
Yeah.
I use so many different glues, but certain projects calls for certain things. So this one is called expanding glue. So what it does is as it dries, it foams up and gets in the cracks. So that's what I use for this. The hands was from my good friend Jesse Arnold, but they were made by Mark Rivia.
Oh, Mark Rivera. Yeah.
Mark Rivera made these. I saw these at Legion's Con, so I was like, ooh, I needed one. And then when I got the idea to do the Kraken, I'm like, oh, I need another pair.
Yeah.
So I was able to reach out to Jesse Arnold, and he sent me another pair. So these hands they work perfectly. So what I had to do was, since they were cut, the arms were cut, I was just able to put them in, but then I used the it's that putty. It's the liquid like putty though. I forget what it's called, but it's the green stuff. It's the green stuff.
Like liquid green stuff.
Yeah, it was the liquid green stuff.
Gotcha.
And what I did was I just filled in the cracks in the wrist area to blend them together.
So are we, as far as that Gorilla Glue, are we talking about one of these? Does it look like any of those?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool stuff. I didn't know that they had like an expanding foam glue. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. So if you look on the bottom, it will say expanding foam.
Hold on one second. Let me put that back up. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little one to the left, I believe.
Little one to the left. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep, that's the one I have. And
that's cool.
Yeah, you will love it. So.
Yeah, I need to pick up some of that and check it out. So, so I think these hands, if I remember right, I think it was either Mark by himself or maybe Mark partnered up with Brian C. And I think they had done something with like a turtle head that was for a troll.
Yes.
And I think these were the hands that kind of went with that, if I remember right.
Yes.
So that's cool that because it, it has a lot of the same shape as the forearm as far as like the spikiness and stuff, right? But it also really feels like it fits this Kraken character that you're working on. So I love that.
Yeah, I love taking things from all over and just bringing it together.
Yeah,
that's what this project was. This project probably took me about 3 months just to gather everything together.
Now, is this troll body? Is this one of the the knockoffs, the bootleg ones?
Oh, no way! No.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, because I've seen a blue one that comes from Mexico. I think it actually. Okay, this is not a joke. I know people are going to think this is a joke because it's blue, and I'm going to say Trevor. But Trevor had a blue one in his office when we went to Legion's Con a couple years ago. And we're like, where did you get a blue troll? And he's like, oh, it's one of those Mexican knockoff ones. But, which I thought was just interesting. So when I saw this blue, I was like, oh, I wonder if he bought the Mexican one just to kind of save some money or something.
Have you felt one of those knockoff ones? Oh my God, they're so thin and
they're just squishy.
It's just so squishy, like a little squishy ball.
He had it way up top on a shelf, so all we could do is see it. We couldn't feel it or anything. That's funny.
Yeah, they were so cheap to make. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know, but I had one, and they're just really difficult to work with because they're so squishy.
Gotcha. So is this just one that you had painted before then?
Yeah. So
okay.
I had a few that I took to Legion's Con and they didn't sell. I did a blue ice one, and then I did a red fury troll.
Gotcha.
and nobody was interested in them. So I mean, I'm recycling. I'm like, okay, I can
That
use
works.
this for
Hey, that
something.
works. Gotcha. So then next photo here. So this is after you've started kind of like priming everything and starting to get it ready, right?
Yes. This is the priming stage where I just wanted to make sure that it was all the colors were cohesive. So, if you paint and a lot of the paint, how the paint will show depends on what you prime it, what's underneath that paint.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure everything was cohesive. So I went ahead and did Mr. Magic Clear a primer. They have a gray primer.
Oh, okay.
They have the clear coat and Mr. Magic Clean, which
Mm-hmm.
I do with all after I'm done painting. But to prime it, they have this gray Mr. Magic primer,
Very
and
cool.
I get that from Hobby Lobby. That's pretty much the only place, or you can go online, which is more expensive online.
Yeah, I get my Mr. Super Clear the clear coat from Amazon, but yeah, Hobby Lobby has it too.
Yeah.
I didn't know they have a primer, so that's interesting. Very cool.
Yeah, you're gonna love it because it coats really good and it gets in all the cracks and crevices.
See, a lot of primers, especially on the softer, more kind of like vinyl parts. I find that it gets sticky. Now, Citadel is the only one that I found that isn't sticky afterwards. But what about this one? So when you spray it, like no stickiness?
No stickiness.
Very
I mean,
good.
you get a clean. This is probably just one coat.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't really have to go do many coats at all. It was just very clean.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then this is as you're starting to kind of piece it together. You can see it's definitely not all the way attached there at the torso and stuff. It's not pushed down, but just kind of getting an idea. But already, dude, it's looking super cool. So as you're going through this, I mean, as somebody that kind of grew up with this, in watching this stuff and loving this stuff, is this starting to like sink in, like how freaking cool this is it before it's even painted or popped together or anything?
I think when I did this, when I put everything together, I finally got everything. I put this together. I'm sitting there looking at it. A little tear came down.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, wow, this is because I imagined this in my head.
Yeah.
So to have it come together and you can see it, I was like, wow, this is awesome.
It's very cool looking. So, I mean, I think, obviously the technology at the time, I think, Ray Harryhausen had to deal with the clay and stuff. But if he had like action figures that were movable, stuff like this, man, I think he would have been in heaven. He would have loved this. So,
man, yeah.
So, so this is as it's put together, and now here we go. We've now got some pictures with paint on there. And we talked earlier about like you were looking at some C colors from some reference material, which is a great thing. I know I talked about it in the last how they do that with Brian Burke about the need to pull this reference material and help you get ideas, whether it's just for color, whether it's for shading, whatever. That reference material is so important. So yeah, tell us about how that kind of played a role as you started putting this together here.
So it's not shown here, but as I started painting, I wanted to do like a turquoise gray, like a bluish gray. And I laid down that paint and I didn't like it. So I was like, okay, I mean, I like it, but this is not what I was going for. I wanted something that when I add the maroon red, that it will pop.
Gotcha.
So that's when I went back to the drawing board and I started playing with green. And once I put that green on, I used like 3 different shades of green. The chest piece going down, that's one color. Then the back is another color. And then upper chest area is another color green. So I put the green down and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I love. So
very cool, man. And then looking kind of broken up section. So tail first, once again, seeing all of those details really pop as you were putting that paint job on there. And you can see that reflective surface, kind of what you were talking about earlier as you were going through there. So yeah, tell us a little bit about, what it was like putting paint on this, how, and just seeing it start to come together.
So as I'm painting, it just, making customs, is everything has to click. It's
Right.
like a feel. I have to feel it like, oh my gosh, this is actually coming together better than
Hmm.
I expected. So it's like, what else can I do? So after I was finished painting, I went and I had this pearl white that I've been had for years, and really it was only like used it for fingernails and stuff like that, but I
Yeah.
did a dry brushing of that, and then it just made the scales immediately jump off the.
Yeah, it looks like there's that. Sometimes when you look at whether it's a fish or something that's in the water, it has this kind of iridescent quality to
Right.
it, right? Where it looks
Yes.
like almost metallic, right? And it really hits that. Like it looks like all the light is reflecting. But I hear what you're saying. Like you did, the dry brush of the pearl, but it looks like, man, like even if this was in a room with just kind of standard lighting up above, it would feel like this thing is moving. Like it looks like it's moving.
Yes, and it was all by chance, man. This is the first time I ever did something this big.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time I used these colors. So, in customizing, that's the joy of it, is discovering a new way or new paint, a new color. And sometimes you have to make your own paint color just to get things perfect. So that's what I did
Very
here.
cool. And then tell us a little bit about like the back spine and the fins and stuff, because it looks like you got quite a few different colors going on in there too.
Yeah, so I didn't want to have like a solid color, so I used 3 different colors for that. And usually on a fish, closer to the body, it's darker, and then as it goes up, the fin gets lighter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to do that effect, and I did that also on the arms. And all my trolls, I love painting the back bumps. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every last troll I do, the back bumps are going to be a different color or accent color or something like that.
Yeah.
I love the fin. It's not too big, but it's big enough just to fit him.
Yeah. Very cool. And then here's some front looks with him kind of reaching out, and like this is just terrifying. Like if you're somebody going up against this, like all of a sudden some Poseidon releases this thing to come after you, you're like, man, this is not good. This is not good.
If somebody was in a boat trying to cross the sea
Yeah.
in the mythos,
Yeah.
and they had to come up against this, this thing is huge. So I need to do a comparison. I haven't done that yet, but like against a horse and a figure and a little goblin.
I mean, it even looks like against a standard troll, it looks like it stands a little bit higher, right? Because I think that bottom part is taller than what the legs of a troll would be. So
it's slightly bigger than a regular troll. So
yeah, very cool. And then this is the picture that we started off with, where you obviously put it in some water, and dude, I mean, just killer job. This thing, like, it just really came together well. I mean, it really, when I look at this, it brings me back to those, days of just sitting around and watching this movie with my mom. And, I mean, the whole thing start to finish is amazing. And the fact that you've worked with so many people throughout this to bring this together makes it feel like it's kind of like a community event,
Definitely. The Cabal is a huge community full of talented people. And, not only do I like customizing, I love other people's customized work and stuff. I see somebody's work and I'm just like blown away from some of the people in the group and stuff like that. And I have a few pieces from them and stuff like that, because I'm a fan just like they are and stuff. So
very cool. Well, I think you had, we were talking beforehand, and I think you had set up this figure to maybe show us live kind of what this looks like. Are you prepared to show that now?
Yes.
All
I
right.
have this. Let me go ahead and set that up.
All right. This is so cool. Like, I've talked to quite a few folks on this channel about their work and everything, but to actually see a reveal of a figure live, like this is obviously for folks. This will be dropping this upcoming Monday, so they will see it then. But for this to be the first time people see something is just really cool. Yeah, this thing's awesome. So this will be at your table at Legion's Con then?
Yes, I will have this, and I'm going to do another one of a squid.
Oh, okay.
A squid Kraken, because I don't want to just do the Clash of the Titans Kraken. I want to do one for something that'll fit in Mythos also.
Yeah. Dude, this thing came out so good. I mean, you absolutely killed it.
Thank you so much. This was a joy to do, and an honor to be on your show to show it off to everybody.
Yeah, man. Dude, yeah, for sure. I love, over the years, if you've done stuff with trolls, I thought they've all been great. But this one definitely hits a certain spot, in my memory banks and my heart, everything. So this is really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Also, I just wanted to show how, the base.
Yeah.
How they did it to where it'll stand on the table perfectly.
That's cool.
It's perfect level, and it will sit on the table.
That's got to be a pretty strong turntable to turn that big old monster, man. That is a big guy.
Yeah, he came out amazing.
Do you have a standard figure that you could put next to it just so we could see comparison wise?
I do.
So cool.
So here is my personal custom of me.
I think you'll have to move the camera just a little bit to the left. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, that is monstrosity. That's crazy.
Yes, he's huge.
You know what? I'm sitting here. People are staring at me, and let me move you over here so I can embiggen you. There we go. Oh yeah, even compared to a horse. So yeah, that's really crazy. I love that.
Yeah, wow. This is my first time looking at it, and it's huge compared to everything.
Yeah. I wonder if I don't know. I haven't used those 3D hands before. I wonder if that would hold a female figure like in the movie, And I'm blanking on her name in the movie. What's the lady's name I know it's we got Perseus is the male character. What's the female's name?
Andromeda?
Andromeda. Yeah.
So let's see. Look at that.
Oh yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like that is, dude, that's stellar. That's stellar. Somebody. Okay, well, I didn't want to throw this out there, but I am planning on working on a Pegasus and Perseus this year, just because I think that would be cool. But can you imagine a Pegasus and Perseus flying above that with that creature there? Like, dude, that would be amazing.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, we need a Pegasus.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point, with that horse buck, they've used it over and over and over. I'm sure at some point they'll give us a winged horse. But I'm definitely making one this year because I can't wait any longer. So
yeah, I have a unicorn, but no Pegasus.
Yeah, dude, Pegasus would be fantastic. That's what I just got an extra bishop to use, and then I think I'm probably going to use the I'll check the wings from Mythic Legion, but I think I'm gonna probably use the wings from the Marvel Legend Angel figure that just came out recently. It's got really nice fold up wings.
Yes.
And try to use that. And then I was gonna maybe use the Gaspar body as a buck for the Perseus because it's got those bare shins and bare forearms and stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's which, by the way, folks, that as of right now, that is still on the in stock on Store Horseman. That Gaspar body, so good with the bare shins and bare forearms and stuff. So yeah,
it's a customizer's dream because there's so many things you can do with it.
Absolutely.
Also, Teal Titan has a Perseus head.
I already got it. I already got one.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. I actually think, I don't know if I got it from them though. I got it off of Etsy. Somebody had one in the Cabal, and I was asking them. They're like, they found it on Etsy, and I think I got it off of there. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know if it was from them or if it was from somebody else. But yeah, I did order one, so I've already got that head. And it's it's just one of the many list of projects. Normally, I wouldn't talk about a project in advance just because I may or may not get to it. I don't want people waiting for it because things move up and down in your priority list. But that's one I really want to get to this year is a Perseus and Pegasus custom.
Yeah, so, you need this. You need this Titan here. Then.
Yep. Maybe
I'll make you one or something.
maybe use the Father Christmas bag for a Medusa head, like the sack that he's holding the Medusa head in.
That'll be cool.
I wonder if somebody probably makes a, isn't it Teal Titan's the one that does all the Medusa heads with the snakes, right?
Correct.
I wonder if they do one with a hand attachment to where it's like where you're holding the head. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
I know a guy who can make it happen for us. So.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like if you just plug it onto a wrist and it's just the hand with the head in there.
That's a great idea. You know.
Awesome. Well, this came out absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate you coming on and showing this and talking through it. I mean, I think everybody's going to love this, but me personally, I absolutely adore this thing. And it brought back a lot of nostalgic memories. And it was just cool kind of talking about, the process of doing it as well as like our love for that movie and stuff. So I really appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you having me, man. I also appreciate you helping me with the arms because everything just came together. Was like, ooh, I can do this. Ooh, I can do that. I mean, it was a labor of love, and it was a labor of everybody helping me out with this. So,
and that's as far as I'm trying to do lately, like kind of takeaways from this, and I think one of the takeaways that I would have for folks, and I've told people this before, but make what you want to make what you love. Don't make what you think that is going to sell or what you think people want to have. Make what you want because A, you're going to have a lot more fun, and B, it's going to show in your work. And I think with this, Perry, like it absolutely shows that this is something that you cared about. This is you're interested in. And, I think it just shows a lot in people's work when you're doing stuff that you want to do. And this is great.
Correct. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's like, I started making stuff that I wanted that I didn't see that was out there. And, a lot of your tips came in handy too. I went out and bought a lot of stuff off of Amazon because of you. So.
Well, you're welcome. And I'm sorry. So awesome. Well, I've got, let me pull this down for a second. Let's put this back here. So I've got your Instagram account underneath your name there. It's at Perry's _custom_corner on Instagram. Anything else that you want to promote or talk about for folks?
I just wanted to let everybody know that I'll be at Table 57 at Legion's Con again this year.
Very nice.
I'm going to have a lot of other stuff other than trolls. I do love trolls. I'm the troll king, but I have other stuff that I'm going to be selling as well. So
very cool.
Come see me, say hi, say what's up. I love meeting everybody that I dealt with over the years and stuff. That's like one of the best things about Legion's Con is seeing everybody that you got to talk to and built a relationship with. So.
And I heard from a birdie that a good friend of mine, Joe Gonzalez, is going to be displaying some stuff at your table this year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, listen, if it wasn't already a smoke show of a table to go to, now you've got a Kraken and you're going to have some Joe Gonzalez there. Like, folks, what are you waiting for? That needs to be #1 table this year for folks to go to. So
hit us up.
There you go. All right, Perry. Well, I'm going to put you backstage. If you've got to run, I totally understand. If not, hang out, and I will be with you as soon as I close out the show.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man. All right. Well, there is another How'd They Do That. Man, I was so excited for this one. It's just a movie that I absolutely love. I could watch over and over again. Just brings me back. Like, I watch it and it makes me feel like 8 years old again. So and the fact that, so many people contributed to this. This is what the cabal and just the community in general is all about, right? He's got one person sculpting something, one person engineering and printing something. He's got he found the head that somebody else had made. You've got people contributing parts and then the reference material to put it all together. Like, it's just, that's how this stuff works, right? You get inspired by one thing, you get some people to help you, you work it out, and it's a great story. And Perry's an amazing customizer, so I appreciate him being on. This was a lot of fun. At the end of the day, like we said, though, make what you want, folks. Make what is important to you. And sometimes as a customizer, it doesn't mean that you necessarily need to keep that thing forever. Sometimes you have to, like, you've got this bug inside of you that says, I need to create this. I need to bring this thing to life. I need to see this thing in the world. And then once it's in the world, if somebody wants to own it more than you do, it's okay to sell these things. I see some people that they're like, well, I'm going to make this to sell it anyway, so I'm going to make what I think people want. No. Make what you want. And then if they want to buy it more than you, so be it. So, and I think you see the magical results that happen when you do that. So thanks to Perry. Thanks to everybody out there that watches this. Keep in mind, we do have playlists broken up on this channel. So if you want to see just these, How'd They Do That, there's a playlist for all of those. I've got a playlist for my exploded figure reviews and some tips and trick videos and stuff. So check out those playlists if this is something that you're interested in, and you can catch more of these. And then we'll be back next week with another amazing artist in the community and talk what they got. So until then, keep creating, folks.